It's 11059, pixel correction and measurement. We need to take off this front bezel. Okay. When you're taking the filter off, hold your camera upside down. Take the filter off slowly and set it down. On the computer, we need to open the Smart Probe Tester. Click Connect. Initialize. Probe dialog. We also need to pull up a cert for the camera. We have it saved in this folder. We need to add the serial number of the camera, its model number, who calibrated and verified it, and the calibration date. A, B, C, D, E, F corresponds to measurement tools. For the Optomet, place the camera face up into the jig. This is a 1/100th gauge block. It's more reflective than the camera, that's why we're using it. Laser power for here is generally around 500, but it needs to create a more U-ish shape in this green and red lined area, so we need to go a little less. There, we need some gap right in there. I was told SNR needs to be around 70%, so that's good. And the measurements that we're going to take come from this reading. When we're doing the top of the camera, the arrows are going to be in this yellow region, and when we measure the sensor, the arrows are going to jump down to this yellow region. Okay, we're going to put in 212.63. We're going to go to measurement B. Now I should clarify, measurement A is when the camera is clear in this corner. We know that this is measurement B because these letters correspond to the area the camera needs to be measured in. That's 212.62. We'll go to C. You can see that C plus 1, C plus 1 are facing the right direction. This is nice because C plus 1, it means that there's another piece we need. So there's two pieces total. And that's 212.59. For D, we need to raise the laser power. It's generally around 1100. When we go to the sensor, you'll be able to see it change. There, see, it's a little too much, so we'll go to 1000. That's still too much. We're going to do 850. 750. There we go. It's 232.72. We're going to E, so we need to add this. That's 232.76. And then F is 232.79. And we can see that the measurements passed, they turned green instead of red. So we need to save this cert, save as in whatever cert folder you have. Get rid of copy of and put in the camera serial number. Click save. And that's it for the measurement. So after we're done measuring the camera, it's always best to spray it out using really low pressure because the camera's been face up this whole time. So you spray it at just really low pressure inside the camera. Just be thorough. Too much air is not going to hurt. When we're putting the camera back together, we need to blow off the ND3 filter. Carefully put it back on to your camera. Put the filter holder back on. Alright, then we're going to connect it to the camera or computer. Power supply on. We have this light that I like to use for 11059s and other cameras. It's going to help with the pixel correction. Connect to beam gauge. I'm going to license through the factory tab because our data license key will crash beam gauge right now. License for professional. Reselect your camera. Go to 1x1 binning. We'll need to open Luminara BPM edit. We'll connect to the camera and read the bad pixel list. Save it under 11059 with the right serial number. We'll load it, right click, edit. Not print. We're going to right click and edit. I'm going to make beam gauge smaller. I'm just going to use the factory tab to bad pixel correct these. When you're starting, it's smarter to go 1x1 instead of rely on bad pixel finder. There's only one. When you're using the bad pixel correction software that the engineers made, they made it so the offsets were already put into the new map list. When you're using the auto bad pixel correction software that the engineers made, they already put the offsets in, so you don't need to add those when it finds the bad pixels. You can just go ahead and copy and paste those into the bad pixel list. But if you're doing it by yourself, you need to make sure that you add 20 to X and you add 24 to Y, and then put it into the bad pixel list. Okay, so now that the crosshairs are jumping around, we'll do dark pixels. I cannot see any, which is a good thing. You don't really want to find any, so that's good. Just go through the saturation, make sure you didn't skip any. Okay, that's bad pixel correction.